Agriculture and Food Security Commission and the Modified Value Added Tax Committee. He is a member of the National Economic Forum, the International Investment Council. He was a member of the Agricultural Transformation Implementation Council under past President Goodluck Jonathan. He served as resource person on agriculture to the Buhari Transition Committee. He's currently the national coordinator of the Nigeria Agribusiness Group, the umbrella body for the agriculture in Nigeria. Please join me and welcome to the platform our final speaker, Mr. Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere. Please give him a round of applause, please.
I must first of all express my gratitude to the Covenant Christian Center, especially to my friend Pastor Koju Yemade. Well, I am the last speaker. What's good about this is that most of the other speakers have said a number of things I would have loved to say, because it looks like agriculture has become very sexy. Everybody wants to identify with agriculture. Even the vice president went on, and I was really moved and happy when he started talking passionately about how agriculture is our future. They've done all that work, but I will look at the entire concept and the possibilities and what are the things that we have on the ground today that will enable us go forward. From the accountant's position, assets and liabilities. What are the assets for the balance sheet? We have 45 million farmers in Nigeria. They produce 80% of the food we eat. We have in Nigeria a very vibrant, youthful entrepreneurs who want to go into agriculture and want a future and build a future. We have fertile land in every of the 774 local governments in Nigeria. A large water body, predictable rainfall, huge economic sub-region. Part of the asset we have today is the decline in the price of crude oil. We consider that an asset. We also have the advantage of a well-thought-out roadmap for agriculture, which this government is putting together. We commend the minister and indeed the president for this. We have one of the great advantages which we don't recognize, which is economic road network. Now, people will say, what? With the terrible state of our infrastructure of roads, how can you say that? I didn't say that. The World Economic Forum came up with a report in 2014, and it rated economic roads all over the world. The best is in Switzerland, even Britain is number 17, the United States is number 21. Nigeria is number 95. But wait for this. Number 96 is Brazil. Number 104 is South Africa. What I'm saying is this, and what they are saying actually is this. An economic road is not an express road. An economic road is if between two villages, people on a market day can find a footpath, can ride their bicycles, their tricycles, or a vehicle can move, even with potholes, and you get to that place and you're able to sell your goods. It's an economic road. What's happened is that while we were complaining about the bad economic roads we have, other countries that had worse, like Brazil. Remember I said Brazil is behind Nigeria in terms of economic roads, developed their economy with what they've got and used what they got from it to now improve on their roads. These are challenges, these are assets rather that we don't seem to recognize. We need to look at this and understand it. The other asset we have, which also appears under the liability column, is the financial institutions in Nigeria. They have been oil addicted. They are now going through a rehab. We've sent them to the rehabilitation center, and I'm glad to report that they are responding positively. All the banks now have banking, they have a banking desk. They have people there and they are training them. That's because, like was said, oil has moved out and they have no choice. There is no more quick fixes, which is oil. Now we are rehabilitating them. But the liabilities we have are that the government itself, both federal and state, while they make a lot of noise and make statements about our future is in agriculture, ask them, what are you actually doing on the ground? Nigeria signed the Maputo Agreement. The Maputo Agreement provides that every country in Africa should provide a minimum of 10% of its budget, must in fact allocate 10% of its budget to agriculture. Nigeria signed that agreement. In the past 10 years, we've never gone beyond 3%. And yet, vast majority of Nigerians are in that business. It is our future. That's at the federal level. Now, at the state level, because agriculture is not practiced in Abuja, not in Aso Rock, it's practiced in the states and the local governments. Let's start with the local government. Maybe somebody here will tell me what local governments do. What I know is that every month they share a certain amount of money and we don't hear about them again, except when they set up roadblocks somewhere around the middle of the month when they will have spent that money to collect money and make life difficult for people. The legislators, I believe what they can do is simple. First of all, declare the food in Nigeria, produced in Nigeria, as a national wealth. I will tell you why this is necessary. It's necessary because we still have a country together with such a high level of poverty because the hunger has not started manifesting. Now it's going to manifest, especially with the ban on importation of food, or rather, the starving off of foreign exchange for importation of some items of food. What happened, as far as the legislators are concerned, that we're bringing them in here, is that in Ivory Coast, there is a law which says that every food produced in their country is a national wealth. Therefore, if there is a vehicle being driven and it has offended some of the laws, the instruction to the law enforcement agency is simple. The food you have in there belongs to the people and to Ivory Coast. The vehicle belongs to somebody. You can arrest the driver, but get him to get the food to where it will not go bad. And then deal with the driver as you choose. This is an interesting law. It shows a commitment of a legislature to the need for food. It is all right for those of us in this hall, because we know most of us can afford imported conflicts and so on. But when you go out there and you see the conditions under which these people work, and know that it's going to get worse. Let me also give you one statistic that will be interesting. 70% of all rice imported through Lagos ports into Nigeria